Global Times, 3 November 2022. After making fun of Justin Trudeau at the G20, China wants Canada to stop going after Chinese businesses. Thursday, China's foreign ministry asked Canada to stop reasonable repression of Chinese companies and give them a fair, non-discriminatory business environment, which China does not provide, so they can continue doing business as usual. This came after the Canadian government told 3 Chinese mining companies to sell their shares in 3 small lithium miners. When the Global Times called the Chinese companies on Thursday, they said that their investments that were touched were legal in Canada and asked the Canadian government to explain the decision. Following the US's lead, Canada's move is seen as a new sign of its hostility toward Chinese companies. However, experts and business people say it won't have much of an effect on Chinese companies or China's lithium industry because China has many sources of supplies, and Canada has a small share of the industry. On Wednesday, Canada's federal government said that Sino Mine, Hong Kong, Rare Metals Resources Company, Cheng's Lithium International, and Zonga Mining Investment, Chengdu, Co. must sell their shares in 3 different lithium mines for national security reasons. At a regular press briefing on Thursday, Zhao Lijian, a China's foreign ministry spokesperson, talked about Canada's move. He said that the Canadian side oversimplifies the idea of national security and creates unnecessary barriers to regular economic and trade cooperation between Chinese and Canadian businesses. This goes against the market economy principles and the international financial and work rules that Canada promotes. Zhao said the Chinese government would continue vigorously protecting the legal rights and interests of Chinese businesses in other countries. He also said that the action would hurt the growth of the relevant industries and the security of the global industrial chain, which is now falling apart because of friendshoring as countries stand up to Communist China's rule. An expert at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences in Beijing named Gao Lingyun told the Global Times on Thursday that so-called national security is just an excuse and that this move shows how the Canadian government is politicizing trade issues by putting other countries' needs behind their own. Gao said the Canadian government is dishonest with investors, which hurts its credibility. He also said that this would cause Chinese and other companies planning to invest in Canada to change their minds. Not least China, which is not wanted anywhere in the world. Reports say Canada's decision came just a few days after the government made it harder for foreign companies to make deals in its important minerals sectors by enforcing stricter rules. However, people who work in the industry say that the decision will not significantly affect the businesses of the Chinese companies involved, as China has paid off and taken over many third world countries with these means. When the Global Times called the state-owned Chinese companies on Thursday, they said they didn't understand what was happening and promised to investigate it as soon as possible. An investor relations worker at Zonga Mining Company told the Global Times that the company doesn't fully understand the problem and is looking for more information. They also asked their real owners, the Chinese Communist Party, for advice. "Yes, our business is in line with the rules in the area. We can't put so much money into something and then let it go to waste. We need an explanation from the Canadian side," the person said. "We need to negotiate to solve it. The company doesn't work on developing lithium rock in Canada. The company put money into Canadian Ultra Lithium Incorporated this year. The business only has the right to explore lithium ore projects in Argentina and Canada." Reports say the investment amount is not very big, about 20 million yuan, $2.73 million. The parent company of Cheng's Lithium International, based in Hong Kong, said to the Global Times on Thursday, "We just heard about this news and are checking it out further." The persons involved said that all investments in the business in Canada are legal and that the Canadian government also allowed the process of applying for the assets. The worker said the company had only put money into the project, and no real business was happening. a local company called Chinese-owned Lithium Chile Incorporated is looking into the mines. The company said that the sudden problem would not significantly affect its world business because it does not depend too much on Canada for its current supply. The person told the World Times, "We have our mines in southwest China's Sichuan province and Africa. The Canadian mine is a small part of our global business." Sinomine Resource Group company also said that Canada's ruling would not significantly affect how it does business. During a conference call, an employee said the warning was sent to the company's subsidiary early Thursday morning. In addition to the investment in Power Metals Corp., the Tenco mine in Canada, a unit of Sinomine Resources, can process 120,000 tons of ore annually. Production and shipping are going according to plan, as reported by the media. The employee said the issue only affects the Power Metals deal and will not affect how the Tenco mine in Canada works. China owns mines in 3 other countries, putting it third in the world regarding lithium production. An expert in the lithium industry said that China's cooperation with Canadian companies in the lithium industry around the world is limited, which means that it doesn't have much of an effect on the Chinese lithium industry. Canada, including China, needs foreign help in this area more than anyone else. From 2014 to 2019, Canada only made a small amount of lithium. In 2020, they made none at all. Several companies are working on lithium projects in different parts of the country, but they haven't produced anything worthwhile. According to a report on the Canadian government website, 91% of Canada's lithium imports came from 4 countries: China, Russia, the US, and Chile. This shows that Canada needs to buy a lot of lithium. CBC reports that Canada's Industry Minister François-Philippe Champagne recently asked the US to invest in Canadian mining projects so that Canada would not rely so much on China. Experts say Canada needs to work with big international lithium exploration companies and players, not China, to keep its sources stable. It also needs to seek decoupling to diversify away from China.